Good morning, and welcome to Coffee Time. Today I'm going to be reading out of Nehemiah. It's an interesting book about a man who goes back from exile to lead the people of Israel and Judah in rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem. And in my daily reading plan, I'm trying to read through the whole Bible in a year and a half. And I've gotten up to Nehemiah. And I'll tell you, it's a good book. It's a good book. There's so much here that I don't think I've ever read before. I don't think I've ever really been in Nehemiah a lot. But I want to call attention to this part in the beginning of chapter 2, right when Artaxerxes sends Nehemiah to Jerusalem, starting at 2 verse 1. In the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of King Artaxerxes, when wine was brought for him, I took the wine and gave it to the king. I had not been sad in his presence before, so the king asked me, "Why does your face look so sad when you are not ill?" "This can be nothing but sadness of heart." I was very much afraid, but I said to the king, "May the king live forever. Why should my face not look sad when the city where my fathers are buried lies in ruins, and its gates have been destroyed by fire?" The king said to me, "What is it you want?" Then I prayed to the God of heaven, and I answered the king, "If it pleases the king, and if your servant has found favor in his sight, let him send me to the city in Judah where my fathers are buried, so that I can rebuild it." Then the king, with the queen sitting beside him, asked me, "How long will your journey take, and when will you get back?" It pleased the king to send me, so I set a time. When I read through this chapter, I was immediately brought to the point where Nehemiah, before he answers Artaxerxes, prays. Now, there's a good chance, that he didn't just, fall to his knees and go for, an intense prayer time in that moment. That may have happened. It may have. But what I'm thinking may have happened, actually, is that the king asked a question, and you don't delay the king in answering. He's the king. And Nehemiah then prays to the God of heaven and then answers. And I think what is really interesting about this is the fact that it's a good model for how we are to live our lives according to prayer. Not just setting aside prayer time for the morning or the evening or throughout the day, which you should be doing. We should be setting aside prayer time, intentional prayer time, but also to not cease praying throughout your day. That, before you give an answer to someone who's important and you're unsure how it's going to how it's going to be taken, or you're not sure what to say, pray about it. Be in prayer, constantly in prayer. Nehemiah, it says here that he prayed and then answered, and my guess is that was a quick thing. It was Lord Father, let your word be the word that I speak. Let my words be sweetly spoken. It doesn't say what he prayed, but we know that the king then listened to Nehemiah and said, "Yes, you can go," and even asked, "How long till you will come back? How long do you need to do this?" And if you keep reading, you find out that Artaxerxes sent Nehemiah with tons of money and tons of materials, and sent him back to go ahead and rebuild the walls of Jerusalem, and then to rebuild the temple in there, after that has happened. So here's my encouragement to you: take a page out of Nehemiah's book. Be in prayer without ceasing. Be in prayer so that when you're talking, when you're reading, whatever you're working, be praying throughout your entire day. Have a conversation with God. When you're driving, turn the music off and just speak to God like he was sitting right next to you. You'll find that when you are actively trying to make your life an attitude of prayer, how much different each day you live is. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I hope it's restful for you. If you're resting, if you're working, I hope your work is fruitful. Have a great day.